get into the pick ban. Okay. Alright, so Clutch Gaming versus EchoFox. Let's see how they're opening this. So Tom Kench and Callista coming out from EchoFox. Clutch Gaming bans away Gangplank and Kog'Maw. And Zoe now being banned away. Maybe this means that they're trying to get Phoenix Azir, so Clutch should probably respond with Azir. Instead they respond with Shen. And never mind, they're not even going for Azir. Okay. Instalock on the Ezreal. Don't know why they wouldn't just go for the Azir right away. Responded pretty cautiously by Clutch Gaming with the Tristana and the Braum. Pretty standard, safe opening, and there's the Azir. I think that, honestly, they could have just picked support or ADC right here, and they could have taken Azir away. But maybe, actually, I think I've heard that, wait, does Featherman play Azir? Yeah, he does, right? There's that, like, insane highlight clip on him on Azir. I don't know why they wouldn't just pick it unless he's going to pick, like, Kassadin or something. Kassadin and Veigar. I mean, those are the two. Blanc, okay, I mentioned that in the previous VOD. Zed, okay, he's gonna go for the Faker play. Never mind, he goes for Ryze. That's very, very bizarre. That's really, really, really weird to go for Ryze. Okay. Now we're going in, and we're gonna end up having to pinch supports away from Ezreal. And Braum, they have Braum, they ban away Alistar. Kha'Zix is getting pinched inside of the jungle. I don't know why you would be afraid of Kha'Zix with an Ezreal. Okay, I don't know why you're afraid of Kha'Zix. If they pick Kha'Zix here, and then they go an AD top laner, because, you know, like, if they do end up going AD top laner, you just go Iceborne Gauntlet Ezreal. So why are you banning Kha'Zix? You have a Gnar and you have an Azir. I don't know what you're so afraid of. That doesn't make any sense. Rengar. What? Evelyn, okay. Ornn. May as well have been an AD top laner. Jeez. Could have just gone Iceborne Gauntlet if they go Kha'Zix. Okay, you're going to pick Zac, so we're going to be seeing Azir Zac. That is one of the most disgusting things in the world to play against. That is by far one of the most disgusting things in the world. So now their final pick, they get counterpick jungle, and they end up going with the Sedge. So, like, okay, the pick bans don't make too much sense to me. Some of the things that we can talk about right away is, just like before, Zac has angles, top, mid, and bot. Really, really gross. Sejuani has openings at top at level 6, has opening against Phoenix basically forever, as long as they play around his cleanse. But other than that, Phoenix should be able to have his way with Febiven, and then it's really on Lyra to make sure that he gets the proper vision control against Dardoch so that Febiven's not under constant pressure, because if that does end up happening, then Dardoch and Phoenix are able to rain down a lot of control and just pressure over the right-hand side river, which controls the dragon and obviously inadvertently affects directly affects bottom lane. Ezreal and Taric are obviously going to be fine. This team has an enormous, like, 2-item wake up. Huge 2-item, 3-item, and then it drops. Completely drops off, and then it becomes the Azir show. So for this team composition, I mean, Tristana is an integral piece. Doesn't really matter what happens to Ornn as long as he's not put 6 feet under. Ryze, even if he gets ahead, it doesn't actually mean anything. This is like one of those unique spots where you can have a 3-0-0 Ryze or something, like very early in the game. It doesn't actually amount to anything just because of the dynamic of the opposing team's composition. Right? So this is a pretty unique thing. And it's why I question, like, why isn't this just Veigar? Veigar's really good against Zac. He's really good against Gnar. Like, whatever. I understand they're picking him earlier on, but okay. Why isn't this just like Veigar? Why isn't it just even going to be like Kassadin? Then you have a better time against avoiding Zac ganks and whatever. You can get onto, like, Ezreal and stuff. I understand that later on it's going to become difficult. LeBlanc even, I think, would actually just be better here. So, yep. Is this times 2 speed? It is. I don't know what's going on. All right. Interesting. So Clutch Gaming is actually invading because they do have some potential to invade. They got the Riser in prison that he can upgrade if someone ends up misstepping. They have the Braum. They can easily apply the passive. Sejuani, they can look for early kills. Early pressure. Solo is going Spellbook on Ornn. You do this in matchups where Ornn is typically meant to be bullied. In tank matchups, you can just go Grasp the Undying. And it looks like Lyra should identify that he can actually do a lot of pressure around level 3. He can also get vision in on Dardoch. Dardoch doesn't need to go for pressure, even though the option's available to him. And so because Lyra needs to acknowledge that, it would be good to just do like a 3 camp into trying to get some sort of an idea of like where Dardoch could be. I like Dardoch's route here. He understands where the wards were placed. He does red wraiths. He comes up, sees that Lyra's not here, and then he ends up taking takes the golems. This is a really interesting route because what ends up happening is Lyra doesn't have the luxury of being able to just clear all of this, recall, and then come here and then try to do something because now the camp's gone, and then everyone knows exactly where Lyra has to go next. So these variations that are coming out by some of the pro junglers are pretty good. That involve the Gromp capture, and you can just see the enormous amounts of pressure that Febiven's under. He needed help from Lyra a little bit earlier on. He didn't get it. Phoenix is still up 2 potions. Ryze is auto refillables, and now Ryze is recalling with 12 CS. I mean, this is just kind of ridiculous. It's almost inexcusable to go for a 5 camp. It just doesn't make any sense. Not when your mid laner just needs a little bit of aid early on, especially because it's Spellbook versus Cleanse. It's not even like Phoenix is running Spellbook. Let's take a look at this. Dardoch is farming up. Hakuo and Apollo looking to try to get something done. Febiven is really far behind in mid lane. And this is just the dynamic of the matchup. Lyra needs to help Febiven at certain points to relieve pressure. He needs to just basically prank. You know, you don't need to get ahead. You don't need to power farm on Sejuani. In fact, you're entirely irrelevant because there's an Ornn in the fucking game. So just make sure that your Ryze isn't crippled. Make sure that your Tristana isn't crippled. And then you're going to be completely fine. He's going to go top now. He's going to find no camp. And then he's just going to immediately go to his Wraiths. And everyone's going to know where he is. Solo's not doing a very good job in this matchup. He's losing quite badly. He does have the Spellbook, but, I mean, that'll come in later. Dardoch even managing to get the golems away from Lyra again. So now everyone knows yet again exactly where he can be. Really good wards by Dardoch this time around. Huni is just, like, eviscerating Solo. Mother of God. Really good play by Dardoch. I mean, he's enabling Huni. It's so good. He's playing on the left-hand side of the map. He acknowledges that Altec and Adrian can't be ganked. It's virtually impossible for Lyra to do anything. And what is Lyra doing? He's not doing any pressure relief. He's never crossing the river. I mean, he's crossed it now, right? But that's irrelevant. He's very slow on tempo. Seems completely out of place. They're going to end up picking themselves up a Mountain Drake. This is really, really important. You do not want to be, facing... like a 20-minute Baron or something if you lose a lot of tempo to this EchoFox composition, because the Gnar is just going to be completely out of control. Solo's almost lost the turret, and now, Lyra's just late to the party with everything. Jeez. He doesn't seem to understand what his laners need. He's playing basically for himself. I mean, if you're going to play like this, then, I don't know, play Master Yi. Jeez. Really, really sad. He even gets a Hunter's Potion. Like, how disgusting. Jeez. Dardoch just keeps taking all the golems. My God. Dwayne Johnson up in top lane. They're going to end up getting First Blood turret. They almost get... Oh, they might even actually... No. Okay. They don't actually end up getting the kill onto Solo. They get the First Blood turret gold. And now Huni is actually in such a spot. So this is interesting. Normally taking the top tier 1 turret so early on is pretty bad. The problem is that Dardoch has provided such good vision coverage inside the left-hand side jungle, and Lyra has basically done fuck all this game because, you know, got a power farm. I think Lyra's adapting the NA, you know, my camps. So basically all that's happening here is because Huni is so far ahead, and Solo is so in the gutter, and Lyra is in the gutter, and Fevervin is under so much pressure, and Phoenix just has complete, like, lane kingdom, right? And he's able to be virtually immune on the left-hand side. Because there's no neutral objective on the right-hand side anymore either, Altec and Adrian are basically undivable in bottom lane. It's just not possible to really coordinate anything against them without over-committing. So then what ends up happening is Huni can actually remain in top lane, which is a pretty gross thing that we don't get to see that often in pro play anymore. And he can just continue to just completely dominate Solo. And it applies so much pressure to Lyra because now he can't go anywhere. Ezreal just gets to sit inside of the lane. Tristana never gets opened up. My camps, yep. This game already looks over, to be completely honest. Their Tristana's behind, their Ryze is behind, Ornn is useless. Maybe they kill Huni. Alright, they kill Huni. That's great. They get a kill. Temporary pressure relief. Solo's probably feeling great about that as he's down almost 40 farm. Would like to have seen Huni actually pick up a cull way sooner. Maybe he wouldn't have his Black Cleaver yet, but I think that a call would have been really good here. I also think that Altec could have acknowledged how far ahead he was, and he could have picked up a call in addition to his Targons. I think that would have been really cool. And then obviously Azir is immune in mid. I really like that Phoenix actually picks up Mercury Treads instead of just staying on tier 1 and rushing to tier 2. He acknowledges how far ahead he is. He doesn't need any more power. Fevervin is so far behind. ClutchGaming is just like, I don't even know. Okay. It's about sending a message. It's about letting them know. ClutchGaming looks like, this kind of looks like, you know, what was it, the Golden Guardians game was? This also looks like Fnatic versus H2K in a way, except I'm very doubtful that ClutchGaming is gonna, you know, win Miracle team fights and then pick up a Baron. The BM watch, the Bad Manner watch. All right. Lyra still, like, Lyra he doesn't need to rush items because his goal is just to get vision and let the laners go even and then unlock them later on. Should have invested into boots way sooner. No reason to rush Cinderhulk. Completely, it's just irrelevant. Like, you're never winning 2v2s. You're never winning a farm fest. Ryze is going to get, like, basically Phoenix would go to jail for what is going to happen in a Azir Ryze matchup. Okay, what do you want Ornn to do against Gnar when Dardoch is providing Dardoch is providing Gnar with exactly what's going on? I don't know what you're hoping to do by, like, you know, power farming a Sedge. This is like the most bizarre thing in the entire world. Is Solo dead? Almost. Like, the last 2 games that Huni's played, he must be thinking to himself, God, I'm really not in the LCK anymore. Yeah, Fevervin screwed himself with the Ryze. I mean, we don't know what's being said. The Sedge pick is weird. The Ryze pick is weird. Should have been, it should have just been Veigar, or it should have been Kassadin. But even still, that would, like, Kassadin and Veigar, well, Veigar a little bit less so, but Kassadin would be in a very similar predicament that Ryze would be in, and it wouldn't change the fact that Lyra is just playing very poorly. From his opening route to just the follow-up to how he's played the mid-game to where he's dedicated, his time investment, like what Dardoch's doing right now, picking up the Rift Herald. I mean, you can take this Herald and you can use this Herald. You could save it. You could honestly try to save it and get the Baron and then cast the Herald with the Baron. That would be super thin timing. There's probably even an argument to wait or hold off on the Herald. There's probably even an argument to hold off on the Herald. Ryze pick into Azir and LCK, some people are asking about. Yes, mid is not a 1v1. In the isolated 1v1, Azir will have his way with Ryze. if you just leave them to be, right? Azir is favored, okay? You need jungler assistance. Zac provides a very interesting and unique pressure to mid laners that really skews the matchup because Azir is so good at basically having an oh shit button where even if a counter gank occurs or a match gank, Azir can just, you know, protect you. The same can't be said for the people on the other side. Rise Abyssal Mask. Fox is just so far ahead. They summon the Herald in bottom lane. I really don't like that. I think that that's really poor. Like, just the last few minutes that, you know, we've been watching, like, Huni is still up in top lane. I think that they should have just rotated bot lane to top. Phoenix stays in mid with the Azir turret. Dardoch plays left side jungle. They summon the Rift Herald up in top. They get the luxury turret. After they get the luxury turret, they recall Huni. Huni goes bottom, split pushes, gets the bottom tier 1 turret. I think that would all just be standard, and it would just be the most safe. Because it still pulls away from their carries, it forces their carries to share XP and gold, and it enables Huni to just continue to accelerate. Still also don't like that he didn't pick up a call after completing Black Cleaver at like 100 CS. He would basically almost be ready to complete it, and with how far ahead he was, he didn't need to just constantly keep accelerating. Now, Clutch Gaming just trying to remain relevant. And at this point, I mean, they keep trying to commit to Huni, but he's just so far ahead. You can just see they're not really going to achieve too much. Phoenix actually just went a little bit too ham, but it didn't seem to matter. Had the damage, picked up the kill onto Solo, and now it's just like they're running it down. Paulo's never going to be able to do anything there. And like, look at Altec in mid lane. He's going to get the mid tier 2 turret. They should be able to, actually, they're just going to peace out and say, you know what, let's just get Baron. I really, really like this. Takes it off the map. They're going to be able to... Actually, I don't know if they're going to be able to. Clutch Gaming should rush to Mountain Drake right now. Let's take a look at this one more time. You can see that Lyra and Solo, and it's almost like those tilty plays where you just chase someone for no reason because you're angry. That's what that ended up looking like. It pulled up all the other carries. Altec wasn't even there. Clutch Gaming did rush down the second Mountain Drake. So they have some insurance policies if they can stall the game. The problem is that Azir, Gnar, and Ezreal just provides so much siege and poke, and it's so hard to go in on them because of the Azir. And they can execute a 1-3-1 right now if they really wanted to. A little bit strange that they're choosing not to do that. You could just I don't actually know what the cooldown is on the Azir turret. I don't know if it's actually behind them right now. They're going to be able to get this turret eventually. Lyra's probably just going to tilt and go in. Yeah, probably right here we go. Oh, it's already up. Okay. Well, actually, they end up getting Altec. So instead of just waiting on Huni to get that bottom wave up a little bit further, they are impatient. And we've seen this actually be the downfall of a lot of North American teams. They are very impatient with managing their side lanes and waiting for the side lanes to basically create a pressure. It's like a dam is going to crack open and the water is just going to pour out. Look at where Huni is, right? And look at the intent. Follow the intent by their clicks, okay? Wherever the face last is, it tells you where they're clicking. There's no reason to be hitting this turret on this wave. The Baron is really, really healthy. Ornn, you know, tied up here, Huni down here. You are so far ahead right now. Even if you get the inhibitor, the dance will remain the same. Or even if you get this turret, the dance remains the same. You're still waiting on one more wave to truly get in so that Huni can also get this wave probably up to around here. So no matter what, you're waiting for this breaking point. And at that breaking point, your goal is no longer to go in and get the inhibitor because that's just a luxury at this point. So then as a unit, you would probably back down as 4, get the wolves, unite with Hui, push in this lane, push it up to this, back up, recall, and then you would reset. And then after the reset, you're most likely going to do a 2-3, right? So you'll Azir turret here, Azir, Taric, and Ezreal, and then you'll have Zac hanging out around here, pink ward here, probably a pink ward here, pink ward here, and then Huni just shoves up to the top tier 3 turret, and, you know, Ornn's going to be on janitor duty there, and then you just wait for the slow push bottom lane to eventually line up, and then eventually you bring Zac down, Huni down, you crack open this, you get the inhibitor, you back up, you formulate up in top lane, Huni comes here, wraps around the base, and then you just do basically a 4-1-0. Alternatively, Huni comes down, you have 4 remain up in top lane, and you execute a 4-0-1. These are pretty good ways, I think, to thread the needle and crack into the base. That's pretty much it. Pretty needless fight. We've seen this actually cost a lot of teams, not even just in NA, but also in LCK, you know, and EU. Okay. A little bit of impatience here. Now just go down. Just go down with Huni. Just go down, get the turret, recall, wait on the next Baron. It's coming up so soon. It's coming up so soon. You don't need to get the mid inhibitor. You get the Baron, it's guaranteed anyway. You don't need it right now. It's not creating any pressure because, of course, they're going to be able to escort mid-minion waves during the Baron dance. Like, this would be different if it was like a bottom inhibitor or something. Like, getting the bottom tier 2 turret is more valuable than getting the inhibitor at this stage of the game. Yes, if you clean ace them and you have super minions going up mid, yeah, there's an opening where you can maybe end the game. But to be completely honest, like, I'm willing to bet right now the inhibitor doesn't do anything. Like, being down. Paulo, you know, doing EchoFox a favor, shoves a wave, hands them, you know, 7 minions, that now they're going to be able to maybe pick up a few of them. Don't actually know. Actually, it looks like Taric is not going to go there, so minions are going to go to waste. Ocean Drake coming up. Clutch Gaming should actually want to burst that down as fast as possible, but they're not in a position to do so. The reason that they want to burst it down as fast as possible is to force another Drake to spawn, prevent another Elder Dragon from coming up. And here comes Rise. And it comes at almost a cost of the top tier 3 turret. Use the Rise ult, got some stuff out of them, and now Huni is killing the Ocean. He's actually doing a favor for Clutch Gaming. It's a terrible decision. There's no reason to kill the Ocean at this point. Doesn't matter that it gives them 2. The Ocean is really not that important at this stage. They're 10k gold ahead. They should just wait until 29 minutes, then take it, force the Elder Dragon to spawn. They're going to be in the driver's seat, guaranteed by the Baron. Yep, they're going to pick up the Baron now. That should be the end of the game. Now, realistically, let's say the mid inhibitor was just open right now. Let's just say it was open. Does anything change? No. Does stuff change in bottom lane? Absolutely. You have to basically assess the damage that the champions are able to do and what's likely to occur in the coming minutes based on the state of the game and how the minion waves look, and then what you know champions to be capable of. All right. Now here, all of it, like, see, the inhibitor came up. Like, the inhibitor was such a useless capture. Right here, they get it. Now they're going to rotate top. They should be able to just actually get the turret. Yep. And that turret's just going to fall immediately. They didn't actually get it on this wave. Huni is chipping away at bottom, so it's not like the end of the world. They don't get it on this wave. Like in spots like this, when Sejuani is backed up and stuff, Zach or someone should just face tank and just get some periodic damage down. They're not actually able to engage onto you. You have all of your summoners up, you have Taric ultimate. In fact, what you could actually do, if you want to just bring the fight to them, you could cast the Taric ultimate and just dive, burst open this, get the inhibitor, and then back up. If you want to play a game of chess, you could do that. It's really frustrating to see some teams not know how to break into a base. Watch some teams with Talia not know how to utilize her and like break in. It's really, really sad. Where's the Taric ult? Okay. Yeah, see? Like, there's no universe where Clutch ever wins the team fight, and they could have just used that to burst into the base, and everything would have been fine. Clutch loses here. Fox looking pretty good. I only lost one prediction. I only got one prediction wrong on day 2, and it was the TSM fly, which I think most people probably got that prediction wrong. So that was it for this. Fox, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Huni isn't just dominating, right? Because he's done it in both games. So I wonder what happens if Huni ends up being met with, like, a resistance. You know, what happens if Dardoch falls behind in the jungle? Obviously, Phoenix is doing well, Altec's doing well, etc. But that's the big question mark for me.